Okay, so in this video, I'm going to try to explain what depression feels like. I don't think depression is something that you could fully describe in words. I feel like you could only understand depression if you actually go through it. You actually experience it for yourself. Even if you probably live with someone who have depression, or you have a friend who is depressed or whatever, I don't think that's good enough for you to really understand how it feels. But I'm still going to try to explain what depression feels like in this video. And this video could be for people who may have someone they love going through depression, or you might be depressed yourself, or you're just curious about what depression feels like, right? Because I believe there could be some misconceptions or just misunderstandings around this disorder between like your family, your lover, your friends, your co-workers, your boss, or whatever, when you change, right? I'm not a doctor, I'm not a neuroscientist, I'm not a psychologist or psychiatrist or anything like that. I did not go to get diagnosed. I diagnosed myself. I feel like I'm intelligent enough to read and understand and watch videos and other people's experience to know that well, I am depressed currently, but it's not that bad right now. If you are depressed, you should seek professional help, and you should get someone, or if you don't do that, you get someone who you trust and ask them to support you, right? So this is just to create awareness for most people who most likely they have someone that they love going through depression, or you are depressed and you want to know like what's going on, because you could be confused, right? So to explain this mental disorder, I came up with this analogy, like this narrative, right? So let's picture this story, right? Somebody kidnap you, and they hijack your mind. So they kidnap you. You were sleeping when you were kidnapped, so you don't know you were kidnapped. They hijack you and they perform brain surgery, right? You don't know you were kidnapped. You were sleeping. And in this brain surgery, they tampered with your brain, like all the brain functions, right? And they tampered with your body. As they did brain surgery, they tampered with all the functions, and then they put a dying battery in your back, right? This battery is always on red. It always needs to charge. It's never full. No matter how you charge it, it will never be full. And this would explain the chronic fatigue, right, which result in you not taking care of yourself, right? So how I understand it is that, okay, it's a mental health problem. Your brain enables a lot. Your brain is the master, right? And your brain enables thoughts, decisions, memories, emotions, speech, language, control stress, how you interpret sound, sight, touch. Your brain regulates emotions, help you to reason and understand, comprehend things, people. It enables speech, intellect, right? Your brain is important. It's the master. It deals with memory, your intelligence, your personality. It helps you to understand what's going on in the environment, right? It helps you to understand other people's emotion. Your brain is involved with appetite, sleep, waking up, and all of that, right? Your brain enables your mood and all of these things. So obviously, let's go back to the analogy. Your brain was tampered with, and all of these things that your brain enabled, they were altered, They were tampered with and now they're distorted, right? So certain areas, when they did the surgery on your brain, they heightened some, or they made some really sensitive, or they debilitated some, right? And you don't know, right? So maybe let's continue with the narrative, right? So they put you back in your bed, you wake up, you don't know you had brain surgery, you don't know they tampered with your brain, and now everything is altered and distorted. And you have this exhausted battery that you're using in your back to continue on with your like functions for your body, right? So obviously, okay, you wake up, you continue on in your life, and then you just start think negative, right? Sometimes you think in an unrealistic way. You ignore positive events. You're only noticing things that's going wrong. You're coming up with reasons why the positive things don't count and they don't matter, right? You jump to conclusions. You always interpret things in a negative way. Without evidence, you automatically think that people think that you're a failure and you're not good enough and you're not doing well enough, right? You believe that the way you feel reflects, you believe that the way you feel reflects reality, right? For example, you might think, I'm a loser, I'm a failure, I'm an idiot or whatever, and that everybody must think that, wow, you're stupid and you're really pathetic. That is what is going on in your mind, right? You have many destructive thought patterns, right? And that's the analogy I came up with. That's the kind of story I came up with, because when you get depressed, like you don't really know it's coming. So that is why I use you are sleeping, then you are kidnapped, and then they hijack your mind, and then they perform brain surgery, and then they put you back to sleep, and then you wake up, and then you start to realize, right? That is why I create that analogy. But depression could be caused by many things, physical abuse, emotional abuse when you were young, and if you had physical abuse or you had emotional abuse when you were young, you are more prone, or you're more vulnerable to be depressed in later life, right? You might somebody might die in your family, it could be in your genes, or some major event happened, like you got a new job, even like a good thing, you got a new job, you get married, you're having children, or negative stuff like you lose your job, you get divorced, and so on. This could cause depression, obviously. And it could also be like you isolate yourself due to other mental illness that you have, then you isolate yourself and then you get depressed, right? So the reason why I mentioned this is because what I was thinking for myself is that people have different threshold levels, right? Different tipping points, right? We don't know the amount of childhood trauma somebody have, or love trauma from past romantic relationship somebody have. We don't know, like, if they lost someone, we don't know if they lose their job, we don't know if they got divorced, like, and then this could lead to depression. So I was just thinking that people might think, why are you depressed? You have this, you have this, you have this, and you have that, and it's like they're looking at your current situation and they do not know your past, they do not know your childhood, they do not know your history. And I'm thinking for myself, like, okay, as a child, if you go through some bullshit and you have like parents who were not the best, and you have childhood trauma, you were abused physically, or you were abused mentally, or emotionally, or whatever, let's pretend like there's a cup. I have a cup right here, and this is like the trauma that you have been through in childhood, and then other things could happen lost a job, someone died, romantic relationship fail, or you get divorced, or you have a child, or whatever, and it's the tipping point, and that is where you get depressed. So I was just thinking, like, people have different thresholds, right? So if somebody get depressed, you shouldn't judge. You don't know their past. People people come to work, you don't know where they live, you don't know their family members, you don't know what they're going through, you don't know anything. You just see them come, you see them show up to work, you don't know their childhood, right? And you might think that why would you be depressed if you have this and you have this, like you don't know the history, and you get really vulnerable, or you have a higher chance of being depressed if you already as a child had like some sort of abuse or loss or whatever, right? So I'm just saying that. But continuing on, this topic of the video is what depression feels like. Well, chronic fatigue, you're always tired, always exhausted, no matter what, no matter how much you sleep, you're exhausted. You sleep 8 hours, you wake up exhausted. Some, you have sleeping problems. And I should like use myself. I don't sleep much. I always fatigue, right? And this chronic fatigue or this fatigue, whatever, it makes doing basic things very, very difficult. And we know basic things. It's just like you don't have enough energy to do basic things like brush your teeth, bathe, eat, cook, or even like I work out a lot. I work out still. Yes, even though I'm tired, fatigued, I work out. I feel like the workout is trash. I don't feel myself working. I don't feel my muscles contracting. I feel like I'm going through the movement. It's like everything is just lagging and really difficult, right? It really feels like your mind has been hijacked and just placed in a dark force that is just overpowering you, and you just can't do anything, right? You feel numb, feel bleak, you feel like nothing matters, your brain is foggy, and you're confused and you don't know what is going on and what you should do next, and so on, right? I feel angry a lot. I will use myself sometimes. Feel angry, aggressive, just upset for no reason. Upset with the world, upset with every single thing that's happening, right? And depression feels like this hopelessness, constant. As soon as I open my eye, it's just hopelessness and just meaninglessness of every single thing in this world, in this life. Nothing, there's no meaning, there's no hope, there's no use of anything happening or anyone, right? You feel like there's a lack of purpose, there's no drive, there's no motivation to do, there's no willpower to do anything, right? I would say sometimes, most of the time, I would take 4 hours to get out of my bed. I had to quit my job because of depression. I couldn't function. I couldn't do it. Right now I take 4 hours to get out of my bed. And I'm not doing anything in that 4 hours. I'm just there. I'm not on social media. I'm not watching a movie. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not on anything. I'm just there watching the ceiling 4 hours. Trying to get the energy and the motivation and the willpower to do the basic things like eat and bathe and brush my teeth and eat, whatever basic things you have to do, right? And there's this constant feeling of life is so pointless. Nothing matters. What is the point of being here? Why am I here? What is the point? Right? You feel like there's no point. And there are other things along with that, which is you're just not, for me personally, I'm just not able to tolerate noise. not able to tolerate useless talking, meaningless conversations, just hearing other people's stories and other people's like problems or whatever. It's really difficult. Like I cannot concentrate. I hate radio, but most of the radio stations where I live, there's nonsense and there's trash. So even if I wasn't depressed, I'd probably still hate radio. But I hate to hear this radio. I don't want to see TV or hear anything. It's just too much. It's just really annoying to hear radio, TV, other people talking, conversation, like noise, like a crowd of people or busy places just make you really overwhelmed and exhausted. That makes you exhausted on top of the exhaustion you already have in general, like every second and every moment, right? Small talk, it's really annoying because I think everything is pointless and useless. Small talk annoys me. Music annoys me. Noise. And then all of these things, the noise and many things going on, like hopelessness, meaninglessness, pointlessness, no purpose. Why am I here? What is the point of being here? All the negative thoughts and so on. It was just some people, for example, it could make you withdraw and it could make you detach from your family, your friends, because your mind shift, your body shift. There's no space, and I do not have the capacity to hold space for people, right? My mind is already full with negative thoughts, constant pessimism and sadness. I have no space for other people to hear what they're saying. Like, people will talk to me and I would just be like, it's foggy. Like, I am not understanding what you're saying. I just do not have the capacity to receive you and take what you're saying. Right? That is how depression feels. And people might think, well, you're not listening or you don't care. Like, there is no space in my brain to listen to you no matter how much I try. I'm already exhausted. I already have negative thoughts. I already feel like life is pointless. I already have many thoughts going on that's negative. That's pessimistic. And then to listen to someone or maybe somebody explaining something to me or telling me a story, whatever, is just like, I cannot concentrate, right? And there's this default there's a constant sadness. There's sadness every minute and every second. There's just sadness, gloomy and just irritated with everything. I don't know why. That's just how it feels. You're sad every minute, every second, every hour. You're gloomy and you're just irritated with life, with every day, every week, and it goes on for years. Could be months for some people, years, days, whatever. Right? And depression also comes with anxiety, which I diagnose myself. I'm intelligent. I read and I research. I listen to other people who have this disorder. I listen to many podcasts. I read a lot. I am intelligent. I could diagnose myself. If you think that's not the best, fine, whatever. But the depression comes with anxiety, sleeping problems, and memory problems. And I have all of that, right? Sometimes you just cry for no apparent reason. And there's just overwhelming negative emotions. Like your mood change. In a bad mood for no reason. There are mood swings. Just sudden sadness just take over my mind, my body. Just irritated with everything for no, like there's no reason. I'm just irritated. Small things just make me really annoyed and really upset. Right? And then continue on. Cannot make these simple decisions. There's like a constant confusion in my mind. Or there's a constant confusion in your mind. Just to figure out how to do basic things. Like cook. Like put clothes on. how to schedule your day, how to create a routine. It's a confusion and you just lost and you don't know how to navigate this day to get my basic needs done, right? And memory problems. I had memory problems. I have memory problems. Cannot concentrate. When you have depression, you have memory problems. You cannot remember. You cannot concentrate. I read things and I don't understand. After read over and over, there's a lack of concentration, and listening and comprehension is just so. It's not that it's difficult. It's just that not the capacity. And the last video I did, if you're a subscriber and you watch me often and you watch all my videos, the last video I did, there was some gaps, there was some spaces there that I just not seeing anything. I have notes that I'm reading off of, and I read them and I'm just like, I'm just not understanding, cannot concentrate, right? Cannot focus, take a very long time to process what I'm reading, what I'm listening, what is going on, what somebody is saying, and also I forget my train of thought. Somebody mentioned, and more than one people mentioned it to me about my videos. Why you keep repeating over every time? Keep repeating over and over what you're talking about. Well, I'm repeating for me, because if I don't repeat, I'm going to forget what I'm talking about. So I need to repeat the topic. I need to repeat what I'm talking about, because I need to stay focused so I could explain what I'm talking about so I don't lose my train of thought. And my last video, there are spaces in between, and I'm just like, I'm reading my bullet points and I just like don't understand. But anyways, continuing on. There's this persistent sadness, as I mentioned. There's hopelessness and there's meaninglessness of everything. Or even your own life. It's pointless. It's meaningless. What is the point of anything? Right? That is just going on in your mind over and over again. Pointlessness, meaningless, hopelessness, and it's just like you cannot snap out of it, or you cannot just make yourself not think that life is meaningless, not think that what is the point of being here. You can't just switch off or snap out of it, right? And I've heard some people say like, why you look so sad in your videos? Where is the personality we know that is fun and bright and funny, and as like from the beginning of this channel, 1 year I'm here. When I started this channel, I was like, I was the most depressed. Right now I'm still depressed here and there, whatever. But if you see me starting my videos not smiling or whatever, and plus the topics here are sensitive, the topics here are dark and sad and sensitive and hard to talk about. How could I like be fun and smile about, well, yeah, whatever. Continue on. Social events just feel so draining. It's just too much energy to be around people. It's too much. Just the noise and just to be in a different atmosphere takes energy. If I go to a social event and I'm exhausted during the event, I just want to sleep. It's tiring just to be around people and hear noise, right? That's why some of us we withdraw, because you're so tired. It's exhaustion. It's not because I don't like you, I don't want to be. I'm tired by default, right? There's negative thoughts, there's irrational, pessimistic thoughts, there's just this bad attitude towards everything, and you just feel trapped in this, like, you feel trapped in your circumstance. There could be negative circumstances going on in your life, and you just feel trapped in that, and you feel like there's no way out, and it's never going to get better, and that is why you're gloomy and sad, and that is why this could cause suicidal thoughts, right? Feeling trapped and feeling like there's no hope, and feeling like you would never feel joy again, and feeling like you would never be happy again, and feeling like your problems will never go away, and feeling like this hopeless, there's no way out, hopelessness, everything is meaningless, what is the point? And then suicidal thoughts come up. Yes, I had suicidal thoughts, but I did not act on them. right? And watching videos and reading a lot about depression and whatever, diagnosing myself. No, but only one video talk about low sex drive. I wish ashamed to say that people who are depressed have low sex drive. Low sex drive, loss of libido, right? Low sex drive. Like there's a loss of pleasure, not only in sex, but just like there's a loss of pleasure in everything that you like, everything pleasurable, all the activities that I used to enjoy, they lost all the joy and all the pleasure and all the happiness and fun. Like it's lost. All the food you like, you eat them, and it's just like there's no sensation, there's no joy, there's no happiness, there's no fulfillment, there's no satisfaction in anything you used to enjoy, and sometimes you just stop doing activities you used to enjoy, and everything that is fun and that's pleasurable, it's lost its pleasure, it's lost its enjoyment, it's gone. There's no pleasure, there's loss of pleasure in everything you liked and in everything that is pleasurable, right? So that's how depression feels. And if I could snap out of it like people think that you could do, you can't. And I would say this, for most of my life, if I have a problem, I deal with it. Most of my problems, I resolve them most of the time by myself. Here and there, obviously, I need support from other human beings. Great. But every problem I have, I resolve it. No matter how long it takes, I would resolve every problem I have. There's always a way out. There's always a way to make things better. There's always a resolution. There's always a solution. No matter how long it takes, I resolve my problems. I work on it. Sometimes you feel here and there, you use trial and error. But when depression, that is when shit hit the fan. That is the first problem, I swear to God, I cannot resolve or come out of from myself. That is the first problem in my life I did not resolve. And if I could snap out of it, I will. And we cannot snap out of it. That is why I use the analogy and the story of somebody just kidnapping you, hijack your mind, perform brain surgery, and then put you back and you don't know what's going on. Right? And when you're depressed, and people who might not know about depression, or they don't know that you're depressed or whatever, people on the outside, your family, your friends, your co-workers, your boss, your lover, whoever, they could think you're lazy, they could think you're spoiled, why you always lying in bed, they could think that you're just like being useless and spoiled and lazy, and you're drained, you're tired, you're physically drained. All the energy is used to survive. It's not I'm not lazy. I'm not lazy. I'm not a lazy person. If you know me personally, I'm not lazy. Right? We're just using the energy we have to try to survive, and sometimes to do the basic things: brush your teeth, bathe, eat, exercise. What else do you need? Drink water. It's just, that's all the energy you have to just survive. Right? People might think, friends, I don't know, your lover, or whatever, you don't like them anymore. You're not interested in them. You don't have energy. You don't have the capacity to continue on your friendships. You're exhausted. Right? People might think, why are you so self-centered? Self-centered is just, you're just overwhelmed. It's really overwhelming to reach out to a friend and to say what is really going on. That is not an easy thing, to reach out to a friend and tell them the dark place you're in and what have been happening, what you have been going through, and why you withdraw, and that is not easy. And sometimes, well, as for me, you just withdraw. Why would I want to have that sad conversation to talk about the dark place I'm in, the pessimism, what I'm going through? Withdraw. And then people think you're self-centered, you don't like them anymore or whatever. That is not the case. Some people think they don't know about depression, they don't know what happened to you. They jump to conclusion and they think, why you choosing to be sad? Why you choose to be depressed? You choose to have anxiety. Who would choose to be depressed and have anxiety? You know, why would I choose sadness? Why would I choose to be depressed? Why would I choose anxiety? Why would I choose to have sleeping problems? Oh, some people say, why are you so ungrateful? You have this, you have this, and this. Why are you so ungrateful? They don't know. They don't know what depression feels like. There's automatic negative thoughts. There's automatic pessimism. There's automatic feeling of a sense of meaninglessness, pointless, uselessness. What is the point of being here? It's an ongoing sadness, irritation, annoyance of the world and of everyone. Some people might say, why? Your expectations were too high. You expect too much, and that's why you're depressed. People say many things. So people might think, oh, well, now you don't care about anyone. You don't care because you might be zoning out of conversation. Noise. What I was saying. People might think you don't care because they're having a conversation with you. Like, I might zone out, brain foggy, I can't concentrate. So it might look like I don't care, but there's not the capacity to listen to you, to focus on you. Especially if you're talking fast, I might be processing slow. Like, what are you saying? And I might look like I'm not interested, I don't care, but I feel retarded. Right? You literally feel retarded. Like, people are talking to you and you're just like foggy, don't really understand, not grasping fully, forget what they're saying, lose your train of thought, can't concentrate, I can't focus, and it's not my fault. I'm not choosing to do this, I'm not choosing to look like I do not care. When I zone out, it's automatic, there's nothing I could do. I'm exhausted. Right? And people think, well, you're conceited. You only care about yourself. You're only focused on yourself. Family members could think this. Your friends, your romantic partner, whoever. You just, like you lack the capacity. People might think, oh no, you don't want to be bothered. You want to be by yourself. No, I'm exhausted. We're exhausted. We're burnt out. Every minute, every hour. It don't matter how much you sleep. It don't matter. Exhausted, burnt out. As soon as you wake up, you're burnt out and you're exhausted. Every day. Automatic. In a bad mood. For no reason. Almost every day. Mood swing. It's automatic. I'm like, it's in the brain. The brain be hijacked. Right? And then you could decrease in your work performance because, well, obviously your mental fatigue, cannot focus, cannot concentrate, it's hard, and then your performance obviously will go down because you can't concentrate and you can't focus, right? And people think that you should just snap out of it and just look on the bright side, like people will say that who have never experienced depression. They will say that. Just look on the bright side and snap out of it. Like that is why I create this analogy that I've been kidnapped, they performed brain surgery, they tampered with all the functions, and now everything altered. I'm highly sensitive, or some parts debilitated, and it's just distortion. So I kind of snap out of it. There's just Anyways, continuing on. And there's useless things that people say, unhelpful. And if you have somebody who's depressed or going through even if you're going through a hard time in your life, or just a low moment, or a phase in your life that's difficult, a bad circumstance, there's unhelpful things that people say, right? And depression was the only problem I could not resolve by myself. And then I reached out to someone for support. I reached out to someone for support. Obviously, it was a male. If you watched the video before I just did, I kinda gravitate to males more because of past experiences with women. So I had this male friend, and I told him my situation, and he said some unhelpful things, and I trusted him, and I believed in him, and I was close to him. And he said, "You're in a low mood. You have a low moment at this time." And it's insensitive, because obviously you don't know how long this has been going on, and it invalidates your experience. And that is why we withdraw, and that is why we isolate, because you don't understand, right? Some people might say, "Oh, you're just stuck in a rut. You're stuck in a rut, you know. Oh, you know, bad circumstances happen to everyone here and there in life." Minimizing your experience, like dismissing the idea or the possibility that you're actually depressed, right? Some people might say, "It's not that bad. It's not that bad." Other people, and he also said that. He said, "You just have a low moment. Other people have it worse than you." And we kind of learn to say those things from other people, you know. I do not believe he had bad intentions. I do not believe that he's trying to dismiss my experience, or just trying to minimize my experience. I don't believe he's deliberately trying to minimize my experience. Obviously not. But I believe, like, sometimes you grow up and we hear other people saying, "Other people have it worse than you. It's not that bad." And we repeat it. And I always question what people say. If somebody says something to me and it feels off, like, "Other people have it worse than you." When he said that, I was like, I'm not other people. That's not my reality. I only know how I feel. And other people have it worse than you never make me feel good. And it would not make another person feel good if they are depressed, right? Some people say, "At least you have life. At least you have life." At least you have life. You say that to a depressed person who more than likely have suicidal thoughts. At least you have life. People, they're thinking to take their life. Meaninglessness, pointlessness of life, of everything. At least you have life. I had this other male friend. He was going through the same thing, and he went through the same thing, and he told me, "Just survive. Just survive." Just survive. Why would you say something like that? I know in previous videos I said you have to have goals. You cannot just survive. You have career goals, you have money goals, you have relationship goals, you have spiritual goals, you have things to do. You cannot just survive. You cannot just survive. Do not tell me that. Do not tell somebody who is depressed that. Just survive. And I felt bad because he understands, because he went through this thing. I don't judge him or doubt him or that he went through this. I would never tell somebody, tell me, "Well, you're not diagnosed. You don't know if it's true or if it's real." Like, seriously, that's insensitive also. But yes, you might not be diagnosed, but whatever. I ain't going into that. But just survive, people say that no, it's not going to help. These are the things that you should not say that is not helping. Just survive. At least you have life. Other people have it worse. They didn't walk. I do not feel better. I never felt better when somebody said people have it worse than you. Just survive. It's just a low moment. You're not diagnosed. It's not that bad. Like, it's not helping. It's not. It would never help. You should stop saying that. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Stop playing the victim. Playing the victim. Stop playing the victim with the exhaustion, with the burnout every day. Just trying to do your basic needs. Some people say, oh, you're just overthinking everything and you're causing yourself stress. Which could be true. Which could be true on my part. I overthink things a lot. It causes me stress, yes. But it's not helpful to say that. If I'm saying that, I will say that to myself. Nobody should say that to me. Like, you're overthinking. You're just causing yourself stress. Like, there's a sadness continuously every minute, every hour, every second. There's a sadness. There's a gloominess. There's an irritation. There's a meaninglessness. And some people say, oh, just cheer up. Think positive. And this invalidates your emotions. This, when you say, oh, just cheer up and think positive, it kind of shows that you don't really care. That you don't understand, or you don't really care about the struggle. You don't understand the struggle. That is why I begin, when I said in this video, that's why I begin by saying, you wouldn't really understand depression if you experience it. Because saying just cheer up and think positive, that could never make us feel like good or better. It is showing, and we feel like you do not care, right? Some people might say, be grateful, you have this, this, and this. At least you have this. You have so much to be thankful for. Many things. That's just a few that I've heard, and none of them make me feel better at all, and they will never make me feel better. And if you have a friend or a lover or someone who's going through depression, don't say any of these, it will make it worse, right? Saying these things, other people have it worse than you. You're just going through a low moment. You're just stuck in a rut. Cheer up, be positive. All of these things that you should not say, what it does, right? It have a negative impact. Like being overly positive and always looking on the bright side, it invalidates our experience. It invalidates all the feelings and emotions that we have, right? And it makes us feel guilty and shame, right? Feeling guilty when somebody say, you should be grateful, you have this, this, and this. Other people have it worse than you. That could make you feel shame and guilty about what you're struggling with. And the person I opened up to, who I asked for help, like I felt like a burden to him when he told me, you're just going through a low moment. I felt like a burden. And from there, I never expressed or explained to anybody else what's happening with me or what I'm going through. Because I don't want to feel like a burden. I don't want to feel guilty. Or I don't want to feel like my experience is not real. Right? It makes you feel worse. People saying things like be grateful and cheer up and think positive. It makes you feel worse. It makes us withdraw. It made me withdraw. It's just minimizing the whole experience. Right? And what I would say, I would never think this video will go so long. What I would say, how to cope with this. Maybe you are depressed, you're watching this. How to cope. I believe it has no cure. I believe I will have this forever. How to cope? Well, I will just share what I am doing to cope with this. Exercise and working out, weightlifting is my hobby. That makes me feel good, so I do that almost every day. But if that's not your thing, Going for a walk could boost your mood. Just doing a continuous exercise I have rhythm that is just continuous, like walking, cycling, swimming. It's just like cyclical. Dancing, where you just focus on your body, just moving, just walking. I walk. That could help you to cope with it. Or you have a partner that's also walking with you, exercising with you, dancing with you, whatever you choose, swimming with you. Just this continuous movement. That is like a rhythm. That could help you to just like get in touch with just focusing on your body moving, right? The other thing is eating healthy. Do not skip meals, which like it's hard because to get food, to get that motivation, willpower and energy to get food, and food could already be prepared. Just to go get it and eat it is like a whole task. But you have to try not to skip meals because that could make you feel even more tired. You're already exhausted, you're already burnt out, you already have low energy every single day, every moment. So to not eat is going to make it worse. So you eat, get enough rest, even though you sleep 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, still fatigued, still get enough rest, still take care of yourself, even if it takes 4 hours. 4 hours to brush your teeth. It take 4 hours to get out of bed to bathe. Take 4 hours to go eat. As long as it takes, just make sure you do it every single day. Right? Take care of yourself. Basically, just get a routine. A routine is great. Routines are great. I love routines. Routines help me survive. Right? And avoid alcohol and avoid drugs. That can make you feel worse after. And basically just do things that make you feel good. Things that could help you relax and things that could energize you, which might not happen sometimes, may or may not. Some days are worse, some days are not so bad. But do things to energize you, like listen to music. If you want to, you could talk to your friends if you feel like you want to do that. You could FaceTime, you could talk to your family members, you could play with your pets, you could spend time in nature. These are things that help me. I have 2 dogs. So I play with my pets, I take care of my pets, I spend time with my pets, and that really helps me. Try not to feel shame, try not to feel guilty. You could feel shame and you could feel guilty because people what I just mentioned, people think that you don't like them again. You don't want to be friends. You're conceited. You just focus on yourself. You change. And many things is just like don't feel guilty and don't feel shame because you're exhausted. Right? You're exhausted to talk. And you could feel shame about your situation. And you could feel guilty for neglecting relationships, especially your family and close friends or whatever. But it's not your fault. You're exhausted, you're burnt out, and having a mental illness is it's like embarrassing, and you feel shame to have this. So try not to feel shame, try not to feel guilty. And if you need to talk to a therapist, you should do that, or someone you trust who you feel safe around, who actually care about you and who would not say it's just a little moment. Cheer up. Other people have it. Be with someone, talk with someone, or share with someone who more than likely would know how to support you, right? Who would give you undivided attention, who would be compassionate, who would be sympathetic with you, and who would not judge you for what you're going through, right? So continue on. How to cope? Well, don't force yourself to be around people. I've read a lot on this topic, depression, how to cope, and it's like go out with friends, socialize, and I'm saying don't force yourself to socialize. Don't force yourself. And I would also say, don't just believe what I'm saying. Don't just take everything what I'm saying. You need to know what you need to do, right? Professionals and psychologists and whoever, they are saying, go out, have fun, talk, socialize. I am saying, don't force yourself to be around people. Don't force yourself to have fun, because that could make you feel worse. right? You would know when you're ready to socialize. Socialize when you're ready. Socialize when you're ready. Don't force it, right? Another thing that works for me is work on your goals. There are so much goals that I've mentioned that we need to work on. We have career goals. We have money goals. You have spiritual goals. You have experience goals, things you want to experience in your life. You have relationship goals, financial goals. You have many things you have to do, self-development goals. All of these things you should try and work on, right? You focus on something bigger than you, right? And one of those things for me is this channel. It's bigger than me. I'm trying to use my experience, which is negative and kind of sad and on the dark side, to help people, right? That's bigger than me. Take care of your pet. My pet brings a lot of joy to my life. It helps me to feel like I don't feel isolated. As soon as I get home, my pet is just happy to see me. Every night, my pet has the same emotion, happy to see me, welcome me, loves me, right? Take care of your pet. Next thing is you could ask someone who you trust to check in with you regularly. This could really help. Somebody you trust, somebody who's close to you, somebody who care about you, somebody who could give you undivided attention, somebody who truly care about you. Ask them to check in with you every day, to call you, to text you, to FaceTime you every day. Ask them to check in, right? Try to keep stress under control, you know. Stress could trigger depression, like it could make it worse. I mean, to figure out the things that are stressing you, right? Maybe you work too much, you have a lot on your plate at work, or you have money problems, or you have like unsupported relationships. These things could be stressful and they could even trigger your depression. So you kind of should try to eliminate certain stresses. For example, me, I had a toxic person in my life. They're not there anymore, and I feel better, right? For another example, which is very sensitive and sad to me, is that I had to quit my job. That was causing me stress. That was my dream job. That was the job I always wanted. And I got the job I always wanted. And depression hit, and I had to quit because I have values. I have to be the best I could be. I like progress. I like development. I like to see things moving forward. I work hard. I have good work ethic. I'm professional. I do my best, and I can't do that when I'm depressed. And I love young people. I love children. I love kids. And if I'm not my best, I'm not going to be there, right? So I had to quit because I'm not mentally stable to be there. That's people's children life that I'm dealing with, and I had to quit, right? So I had to move that away. Next thing is to what I use, B vitamins. I take B complex vitamins. That has helped me, right? And then challenge negative thoughts. Negative thoughts can make you feel powerless. All the negative thoughts, the pessimism and all of that, thinking like the worst situation, and just getting rid of all the positive things that is happening in your life and whatever. You might need to challenge this, you know. They could make you feel really hopeless even more. And you have to take good care of yourself and think positive. And yeah, try to think that the future could be good. You know, expect good from the future, right? And the big symptom of depression, especially for me, is negative thoughts. Negative thoughts, irrational, pessimistic thoughts, and bad attitudes, right? So that's how depression feels. I would never think this video was too long. Well, it would be so long, but that is my take on depression. I hope this helps in whatever way. If you have someone that you love is depressed, you are depressed, or you're just interested to know what it is like, that is what I have for you. That is the best way I could explain this, and I hope you enjoy this video. If you like it, hit the like button. It's not hard to hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to, and see you in the next video.